sugar that they make, but they already made it. So they don't necessarily, they don't make sugar and send it outside and reingest it. It's already in them.
Okay.
But they need to burn it in their
Okay.
mitochondria. And how do they burn it in their mitochondria? Let's watch. What they do is they take oxygen.
Yeah. One more
And
elimination.
this is what you do too. We take oxygen and
Yep,
sugar. And what do we make energy? Yay! That's where our energy comes from. How did the energy get into sugar? From the sun. Ta-da!
Why?
So anyway, we make energy, and what else does it give off? You breathe it out.
Wait, can it be armor too?
And
I just need one more
that's a big
exotic.
product. If you breathe on your hand, just feel like it's moist. Yeah. Moist.
I have like weapon wise.
Very moist.
Like weapon wise.
Why? Because there's water vapor in your breath.
I only have 2,
Anything else?
but in exotics in total I have 1.
So when you're breathing out,
So
you're
I
breathing
have
out
4
carbon dioxide and water
exotics in
vapor,
total.
and you got this wonderful energy up here. Does that look familiar? Watch this. This is oxygen, sugar, water, carbon dioxide. This is water,
They're all
carbon
really high
dioxide,
level.
sugar, oxygen.
Killing.
It's the same thing backwards.
What?
So you need to have oxygen and the sugar, and it breaks down. And when it breaks that down, it gives off energy and carbon dioxide and water. Plants need carbon dioxide and water to make sugar and oxygen. We need oxygen and sugar. So it's the same thing, only backwards. So that's the neat part. It's not magic. It's just chemistry. That's all that it is. It's just rocket science. That's right. Rocket surgery. Oh, rocket surgery, man. Okay. Why not like Christmas? Why? Well, yeah. Yeah. Why am I not very jolly?
Yeah.
I look like a Grinch. I seem like a Grinch.
What are the most common?
Bro, I'm having lag.
They're represented for Christmas.
He walked in right in the way.
What thing?
This goes in the onion.
Really? We just made them.
Bro, he just walked in like right in the middle of the way.
You're still playing failure. I don't think that you could be a spot help.
If you look at my videos, it says, bro, this dude walked in the way. Oh my god.
So what do you think? I should be wearing like, should I have a Christmas tree?
Bro, I was lagging.
What?
Right.
Well, the funny thing is,
They actually are.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh.
How do you know? Literally the most common Christmas colors are red and green. How are you supposed to do that?
I like blue.
Yeah.
Like a sea blue. All right, you guys ready to rock? Here we go.
Oh, hello there. I'm at the gym. I don't know why you're here, but I'm going to do some push-ups. You can join me on the floor if you want.
Now, I'm not doing this just to show off or anything. I'm actually doing this for science, okay?
Oh, let's go.
See what happened there?
My arms move, my shoulders move, my back and stomach muscles move, my heart pumps blood to all of those different places.
Well, it turns out that how you use energy is a lot like sports or other kinds of exercise. It can be hard work and a little bit complicated, but
If you do it right, it comes with some tremendous payoffs. But unlike hitting a ball with a stick, it's so marvelously complicated and awesome that we're still unraveling the mysteries of how it all works. And it all starts with a marvelous molecule that is one of your best friends, ATP.
All right. So somebody, you gotta write something in there. What do you already know about ATP? Probably not much. I'm gonna skip this and move on quickly. You know,
It's not letting me answer it.
why? Because you're the
Still
wrong
says
one.
got it.
Now it's on the way.
No, I don't even see your name in here.
Yeah, dude, you're dumb.
You're supposed to be in the best class.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
All right. Push and play. They got it.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
Today I'm talking about the energy process our cells and other animal cells go through to provide themselves with power. Cellular respiration is how we derive energy from the food that we eat, specifically from glucose, since most of what we eat ends up as glucose. Here's the chemical formula for one molecule of glucose. In order to turn this glucose into energy, we're going to need to add some oxygen, 6 molecules of it to be exact. Through cellular respiration, we're going to turn that glucose and oxygen into 6 molecules of CO2, 6 molecules of water, and some energy that we can use for doing all of our push-ups. So that's all well and good, but here's the thing. We can't just use that energy to run a marathon or something. First, our bodies have to turn that energy into a really specific form of stored energy called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. You've heard me talk about this before. People often refer to ATP as the currency of biological energy. Think of it as an American dollar. It's what you need to do business in the US. You can't just walk into a Best Buy with a handful of Chinese yen or Indian rupees and expect to be able to buy anything with them, even though they're technically our money. Same goes with energy. In order to be able to use it, our cells need energy to be transferred into adenosine triphosphate to be able to grow, move, create electrical impulses in our nerves and brains, everything. A while back, for instance, we talked about how cells use ATP to transport some kinds of materials in and out of its membranes. To jog your memory about that, you can watch that episode right here. Now, before we see how ATP is actually put together, let's look at how cells can cash in on the energy that's stashed in there. Well, adenosine triphosphate is made up of a nitrogenous base called adenine with a sugar called ribose and 3 phosphate groups attached to it. Now, one thing you need to know about these 3 phosphate groups is that they are super uncomfortable sitting together in a row like that, like 3 kids on a bus who hate each other all sharing the same seats. So because the phosphate groups are such terrible company for each other, ATP is able to do this nifty trick where it shoots one of the phosphate groups off the end of the seat, creating ADP, or adenosine diphosphate, because now there are just 2 kids sitting on a bus. And this reaction, when the third jerk kid is kicked off the seat, energy is released. And since there are a lot of water molecules just floating around nearby, an OH called a hydroxide from one of the H2Os comes over and takes the place of that third phosphate group. And everybody is much happier. By the way, when